Hello YouTube and fellow gamers, DM Red Dog here, and this is going to be my first official video towards GM tips. The first topic I want to start off with is how to create a good villain and put them into your story or campaign. So let me first put out this disclosure. Is that we're going to be talking about good versus evil aspects. This is not an alignment argument or up for debate. It's a matter of perspective, and I'm keeping it very broad to illustrate my points. So, that being said, your villain is going to be the evil part to your story that the heroes, your players, are the good side, so good versus evil. The heroes go out and fight villains. That's what they do. Okay. Now, a villain can be an individual person. It could be a group of, a secret society, a cult, things like that. But even then, there's usually a head honcho, and so you can have that villain boss, with a group of minions, accordingly. So you can broaden that out. But keep in mind that, the villain is the evil entity, okay? And even though they're viewed as evil, do keep in mind they're not evil for the sake of being evil. In one perspective, they don't just wake up and decide to put a bunch of babies on spikes because they're bored and it's Tuesday. Okay, no, that's way, way out there. The other thing is, it's not a learned thing. They don't go to Evil University to get their doctorate in evil management. Okay, it's not that, black and white. You have to keep in the perspective that the villain does not necessarily view themselves as the villain or even as evil. Okay, their pursuits may be very selfish in nature. They may be very misguided. They may think they're doing the right thing, and they're actually not. And so, be sure you got a good concept of what they're, what they're trying to, how they view themselves. The other aspect is that, the villain is going to have an ultimate goal. Okay. It may be very cut and dry. It may be very long-term. So in a long-term goal, the short terms are obviously the steps they're going to do to get there. For example, take Cardinal Richelieu from Three Musketeers, okay? He was a cardinal. He was in a position of power and influence, and he used that. He used people. He set up situations. He schemed. He had multiple things going on to help give him options towards his ultimate goal, which he wanted to rule. He wanted to control France. He did not want to be the king. He just wanted the king's power. So he did, instrument and kind of puppet the king on the throne. But then he was setting up things to where he could actually take the position and have the thing without being actual king. So your heroes, or the musketeers, were going out and stopping these plots and schemes, and that's a good curses and go on with it with the villain. So, but he was still there, and he could be he was a recurring villain. Now, the one I'm going to use a base template from here on out is that we're going to take a necromancer. Okay, a necromancer, he raises dead and zombies and does weird magical experiments with them and things like that. Now, he doesn't necessarily view his actions as evil. He may know the consequences. He may know it's wrong, by a societal view, but that's what he does. He's still going to have a plan. What is he trying to do? He's trying to get more powerful. He's trying to make bigger, better zombies. Is he going to use this undead horde to enact revenge on a rival mage or the archmage who cast him out? And with this in mind, I'm using the example from Oblivion. When the archmage rose up to power, the first thing he did was he banned necromancy amongst the Mages College. So all those that were practicing it were told, you can't do this anymore, so they just left. Okay. Now, maybe one individual, some of them grouped up into a coven. They had plots and schemes, from that point. But also, you need to take into account, they're not stupid. Okay, your villain is not going to be in the position he's in by being stupid. He may work alone, he may work together, and he's going to have to plot accordingly. Also, look at the environment. Okay, if he knows it's banned, he knows it's outlawed, and everybody views it as evil, he's not going to do it out in the middle of the town square. Okay, he's take your stereotypes, play off of it. It's going to be in a deep, dark cave, in a basement, in the sewer. Maybe he just completely went away from civilization. He's in an old abandoned keep, a long since abandoned mining facility. He's going to go somewhere where he's not going to be noticed. Nobody's going to raise any alarms or questions. In that same regard, think about it from the Mages Guild standpoint. They knew people left. They knew there was necromancers out there, but as long as they stayed out in their own little thing and didn't bother anybody, nothing occurred. They just said, you can't practice necromancy. You want to do it, do it somewhere else. Okay. So, they didn't declare open season on necromancers. Okay. But, if they're out there, okay, give him a reason, if he's doing something wrong. There's been a little, farming town that they said they started seeing animals, undead animals, rotting. There's a strange smell coming from this one place. They noticed some of the graves have been disturbed in their family plots. Go investigate this, and of course immediately the hero's like, oh, there's a necromancer. Okay. But again, look at why he's doing it. Is he building his minions up? Is he just making them to be guards? So those kind of things, remember, villains are not dumb. They're not evil for the sake of being evil. They have a plan, they have a purpose, they have goals, just like anybody else, okay? But that is going to be your threads in the story. Short-term, long-term objectives are going to be what the heroes are out there to challenge, fight, and ultimately defeat the villains. So, anyway, just some basic food for thought to start out with. There's going to be several other parts I'm going to add into this. So, any questions or comments? Put them down below, and thanks for watching.